So we will continue to talk about another topic in chapter 8, which is about center of mass and center of gravity. So what is center of mass? Okay, because in chapter 8 we have to consider rotation of the motion of the object, and then in a lot of cases we have to consider the shape of the object as well. Okay, but sometimes finding center of mass is going to help us to simplify analyzing the rotational motion of an object. So the center of mass is the average position of all the mass that makes up the object. Or you can imagine that you squeeze all the masses of the object into one point, and that point will be the center of mass for that object. And center of gravity is the average position of weight distribution. Okay, most of the cases in our class, weight and mass, they're proportional to each other, so we can use them interchangeably. How do we decide the center of gravity? Okay, for any arbitrary shaped object, so the way you can do it, you suspend the object from one point and draw a vertical line, and then you suspend the object from another point and you do the same thing, and then those 2 points actually they are going to meet at some, they're going to intersect at some point, and that point where those 2 lines intersect will be the center of gravity or center of mass of the object. And why do we need to talk about the center of gravity? Because this concept is very important for stability of an object. So let's say this is a Pisa Tower here, okay? If we draw a line straight down from the center of gravity, and then consider, okay, this is the base of the object, okay? If the center of gravity line falls inside the base of the object, we say this object is pretty stable. Otherwise, if it falls outside the base, the object is not stable. So when this tower actually is going to lean a little bit more, when this line goes outside of the base of the object, then it becomes very, very unstable. Okay. And there are some other examples from the textbook. Okay. Actually, you can take a look from section 8.4. Okay. So especially I ask you guys to take a look at these examples. Like this person is bending down. So if he bends like this, okay, so the center of gravity line actually is within the base, so he or she is going to be very stable. But if he bends like this, so he, legs are, just leaning on the wall, and then the gravity line is outside the base, outside his, feet, then he's pretty unstable. Similarly, for this case here, the center of mass line actually is within this, the base, so this case is stable, but on the other hand, this case is not stable. So there are some other examples actually you may want to take a look from this section, talking about the stability of an object. Okay, so in order to be stable, we need to have obviously wider base, right? If the base is wider, the possibility of the line through the center of gravity is going to be within the base, or we are going to have lower center of gravity. Okay, so that's about center of mass, center of gravity topic.